Hello guys, today I'll be reviewing Moving Pictures by Rush. This album recently turned 40 years old, and yeah, this is one of my favorite albums of all time. It's probably top 10 favorite albums of all time, probably. I absolutely love this album. It's my favorite Rush album also. And of course I have other favorites from the band, such as Farewell to Kings and Permanent Waves and Signals, just to name a few others. But yeah, this was also the first album that I heard from the band. But also for this review, I came prepared with my Rush shirt, and I also have my poster back there, my Rush poster sitting by my Aerosmith poster. But yeah, this album, definitely cool that it turned 40 years old today, and I hope they do something special for the 40th anniversary of this album. Hopefully we get this 40th anniversary CD or some box sets and merch and stuff like that. Hopefully we get some news about that soon also. But anyways, let's go ahead and dive into the album. The album starts off with Tom Sawyer. Of course, an iconic song from the band, and definitely commercially did very well for them also, and also helped get the album to become one of their biggest selling albums. I think it's their highest selling album in the United States. I know that, but yeah, Tom Sawyer. Another thing that stands out in this track is of course Neil Peart's drum work with the odd drum patterns and just the intrigue that you get from listening to what he's doing behind the kit in this song. And then you also have the solo from Alex, which is also probably one of their most iconic solos in their discography. But yeah, all around a great track. I know many people have covered this song. I know a new metal band called Dead Sea covered this song, and I think their cover's okay. Definitely feels like Dead Sea. I'd say they made it their own with their cover, but overall I think it's okay. But yeah, Tom Sawyer, definitely a great album opener. But then we get to Red Barchetta, and this is another fan favorite from the album, and also another popular song for the band. But yeah, what stands out the most to me in the song is probably the rhythm work and the guitar work. It really pulls you into the song. Of course, Geddy sounds great, but again, what stands out to me is the rhythm work and the guitar work. But yeah, Red Barchetta, another solid track on the album that still holds up for me today, and it's probably one of their best songs for me personally. But then we move on to the instrumental YYZ, which is another fan favorite / popular song for the band. And yeah, has some interesting twists and turns, such as that part towards, I believe, around the middle of the song where you get that more synthy part, synthy atmospheric part, and it's really cool. It's really awesome, and this instrumental all around is just excellent. Really shows the talent in this band, especially from the rhythm section, and just how creative they can be with creating an instrumental in general. Of course, you have many other examples in their discography, such as with their 70s work, but YYZ, again, definitely a great instrumental. We're going to go ahead and move on to Limelight, another popular song for the band. A bit more straightforward and commercial for the band, too. And yeah, it's a fun rockin' song. If you were to make the argument that's a bit overplayed, I totally understand, but either way, I still think it's a pretty solid song. Lyrically, I believe it has to do with just, well, being in the limelight, being in the spotlight, basically having all the attention and basically the feelings you're getting while all of a sudden getting popular and, again, taking the spotlight. At least those are the lyrical themes that I'm getting from this track, and I believe this is a song that's kind of more of a Neil song, I guess you could say. I heard that from, I believe, Geddy Lee in an article or interview, but either way, still a pretty solid track. But we're going to go ahead and move on to The Camera Eye, which I think is one of the most underrated songs. I mean, there's no single weak song on this album, in my opinion. And The Camera Eye, again, that's a song that I think is kind of overlooked and I think deserves a bit more attention. It's the epic on the album, and you have your more heavier moments and your more melodic moments. I mean, when it comes to the heavy moments or more groovy moments, you have a moment such as around the 2 minutes and 40 seconds mark. And then when it comes to the more melodic side of the song, you have the moment like closer to around the 4 minutes and 40 seconds mark, if I remember correctly. But all around, I've always really dug this song. I've always thought it was kind of overlooked. Really dig this one. but we're going to go ahead and move on to the song Witch Hunt. Now, apparently, all that noise you're hearing at the start or build up of the song, that's apparently the band just screaming outside of the studio, and the fact that you can't really figure out or hear what exactly they're saying, that was actually done on purpose. They mixed it that way on purpose, so I found that kind of interesting. I thought that was a cool thing to discover, but then you get to the actual song, and yeah, it kind of has an interesting vibe to it, atmosphere or vibe to it, and overall, I think it's a pretty solid track. Maybe not my favorite song on the album, but I wouldn't say I wouldn't say that this album has a weakest song or bottom of the barrel song, because I think Witch Hunt is another song that I think is kind of underrated. Maybe not one of their best songs of all time or anything, but either way, it's still a pretty solid track. But then we move on to the song Vital Signs. Now, this song, kind of unique on the album, kind of an interesting choice to close off the album too. You could say that the song is kind of a preview of what's to come with the later albums, because it's a bit more, I don't know, electronic, I guess you could say. I don't know if they use keyboards or not, or electronics, or however you want to put it, but whatever they use, I thought it worked well for this song, and also had great chemistry with the guitar too. Or maybe it was all guitar, I could be wrong, but either way, I think it's a pretty cool song. Lyrically, it's about individuality, or it deals with themes of individuality and the urge to want to conform, or just conformity and stuff like that. And overall, kind of a unique song that I think is pretty good. Not my favorite on the album, but I do like it though. It is one of those songs that I do think gets better the more you listen to it though. I'll give it that. But overall, not a bad album closer. But anyways, if I had to rate this album, I'm going to have to give it a 10 out of 10. Again, one of my favorite albums of all time, and if you haven't heard this album, then, I mean, what are you doing? Please give it a listen. I mean, whatever band you're listening to, set them aside, give them a break for a second, give this album a listen. This album is just, I don't know, it's just so good, and again, I hope they do something special for the 40th anniversary of this album, because it is one of their biggest selling albums, and hopefully they give us some pretty cool merch options, and hopefully we get a CD and maybe some box sets and all the good stuff. But anyways, again, I'm going to rate this album a 10 out of 10. But anyways, let me know your thoughts on the album. Do you love it? Do you hate it? How does it compare to the rest of their discography for you personally? Is it your favorite, least favorite, one of your favorites, one of your least favorites, and all that good stuff? But anyways, thanks for watching. Please leave a comment and like, subscribe. Have a nice day, and take care.